We are live in New York, live on your radios and online right now, iHeartRadio.com/Miranda Lambert. You guys make some noise. I'm your host, Brooke Taylor, and obviously we're here to celebrate a new album. This is the first solo project we've gotten from you since 2016.
Yeah.
How's it feel to just be out? It's here, the world is hearing it.
It's good. It's like you wait for a really long time. You finish the record and you're real excited, and then like, okay, 5 months from now. You're like, aw.
Well, and I want to talk about that really quick too, because a lot of people and a lot of your fans, and they might not know really what goes into making an album and sort of, I mean, the time, the effort, even on album release day, you're a crazy busy lady those days. What is one of your favorite parts about making new albums and putting out a new piece of work like Wildcard?
The fans' feedback, really, that's all that matters, truly. Just, hoping that like you use life for your art, and then you go in the studio, you go in the writing room, and then, work hard and put something together that you really believe in, but it doesn't matter if the fans don't love it. So that's the most important part. That's my favorite part.
We love Miranda, right? Now, you have to cut, obviously, a lot of songs that maybe you are sifting through to, like, put together on a project. Are there some songs that you're like, oh, maybe one day these will be on something new?
I do save a few, and sometimes I forget about stuff, and I'll find it later. But, I feel like when you put together a project, you kind of know what fits. By the time you get to the last day in the studio, you kind of have a vision of what the project should be. And on this record, I just put a bunch of songs I loved. It wasn't necessarily a storyline or too thought out. It was just stuff I wanted to play live and with the band, and I think it was a good mix.
Oh, for sure. And I really want to talk to you about It All Comes Out in the Wash, you guys. Are you guys ready to hear this song? We just found out you're going to be performing this on this year's CMA Awards. Are those performances a little bit more nerve-wracking when you're in front of your peers as opposed to an amazing, audience like all of your Miranda Lambert fans?
Yeah, it's terrifying. It's always nerve-wracking, but it gets easier, especially at country award shows, because a lot of the people sitting out there are your friends, but live television is still very nerve-wracking.
For sure, absolutely. Yeah. And then also, no big deal, you were nominated for Female Vocalist for the 12th year in a row, right? What's it like? It's a huge honor to be nominated for that category within the country music family. What is that feeling like 12 years in a row?
Well, it's crazy because I didn't even realize that until you said that. But it's awesome. But I'm also okay. Like, I won, and it was amazing. It's one of the greatest moments of my life. It was my first time to win, and Loretta Lynn handed it to me. So, you don't get much better than that.
Right, absolutely.
But I also am, cool to just be there and support the other women in the category because, if it's time to pass the torch, it's time to pass the torch. But I also love the fact that I'm still working really hard, and I love the competition. I love being in the game.
Well, and you're always just such a powerhouse and such a champion for women regardless. You even came out with a big post on Instagram talking about Carrie Underwood, you're going to win Entertainer of the Year. It's your time. And you've always just been that champion for women. And I think we all appreciate that, right, ladies?
Thank you.
Yeah. So let's really quick talk about It All Comes Out in the Wash, a little bit of, behind the scenes, a little secret about the song. Maybe we don't know yet. Your fans might want to know a little bit about the song, right?
Well, it's a phrase my grandma said. I guess everybody's, if you're from the South, parents or whatever probably said it. Just kind of if you were having a meltdown about something or sad or even a real stain, it's like, don't worry about it. It all comes out in the wash. And so I had written it down on my phone, and that's where I keep a long running list of just titles or lines, and I took it to the Love Junkies, and it was one of those kind of wrote itself because we were just talking about scenarios that we either lived out or heard of. I actually wore a white t-shirt to a crawfish boil in New Orleans.
Real story, guys.
It was my first gig. It was a rookie mistake, but it was, it's just stuff that, it's kind of funny, but it's also got a real serious message,
right.
So where it's like, no matter what's happening, you're going to be okay.